Howdy, howdy, howdy. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another video. I'm Dr.MooMoo, and today I will be ranking every movie, show, and video game I watched or played, I guess, for video games in the month of August. Without further ado, let's step right into it. These are in no order; they're not in the order I watched them in. They're just in a random order here, so let's see how things lay out. I have the perfect tier for 10 out of 10s, great tier for 9, 8 out of 10s, good for 6 to 8s, okay for 3 to 6s out of 6 out of 10. 3 to 6 out of 10 words. Bad and awful, obviously. Awful is like 1 star, half a star, those type of things. And bad could be like 1.5, 2. OK's also got 2. Upper 2. You'll understand. If it's in bad, the movie was bad, or the game was bad, or the show was bad. That's the basics of how our tier list works, and you probably knew that. But here we go nonetheless. First here we have Orphan First Kill. I have not seen the Orphan movie before this. I did hear this was a prequel, though, to that movie, I guess. So the origin story of the orphan. And I guess we see her first kill in this movie. Her first couple of kills. Now I'm going to go on a limb and say she killed before this movie, but who knows. So anyway, I'm going to be honest. This movie, I was first to watch by my dad. That's that. I have no interest in like any horror movies. I do not find them interesting, and I do not like being scared, which is one of the main draws of horror movies. But what I did like about this movie is, I'm not going to spoil it, but there was a part that actually did subvert my expectations. I was expecting this to be like, oh, the orphan joins a family, tries to kill the family, it's going to be easy for her because the family is nothing. But there's a twist within the family that I'm like, oh, this was actually pretty good. Now that being said, this movie is not that great. I'm going to go ahead and put it okay tier. It's very basic, very... Not that you don't really get anything out of it. It's nothing more than just okay in my eyes. I guess you can watch it. I wouldn't recommend watching it though. I haven't seen the first one though. Maybe it's better if you've seen the first one. Although this is a prequel, so I guess this is the first one. But you get what I'm saying. Anyway, next here we have Reservoir Dogs. Currently, this is my least favorite Tarantino film, and I still think this is a great film. Tarantino is a magnificent director. I've not seen much of his movies. I think I've seen 3 or 4. My current favorite of his is Pulp Fiction, very basic. And this currently is my least favorite of the bunch. I don't know how to put this into words. It just didn't hit to me the way Pulp Fiction, Hateful Eight I liked more even, and oh crap, what's it called? The Django Unchained, and now the Django Unchained was good too. I think all those films are better than this one, and this one did not quite hit me the way those films did, both in its story and its characters. Characters are interesting. That's definitely what this movie's got going for it. The characters are fun. The story's good. The sort of mystery it sets up's pretty good as well. And yeah, it's still a great film. Good job, Tarantino. I don't need to say that. Everybody knows you do a good job. But I put it here in a great tier. Next up, we have the Death Note. I freaking loved this show. I'm just now starting to get into anime. I've watched Demon Slayer. I've watched a bit of My Hero. And this month, I decided, hey, I've heard a lot of good things about this Death Note movie, or show. I'm going to go ahead and watch Death Note. And I absolutely loved this show. The characters are magnificent in this. My only complaint is there's sort of a drop off towards the end. Not gonna spoil anything. I didn't like it as much towards the end. Still great. I just, once a certain thing happens to a character, I'm like, oh no, and then I don't like where they kind of went with it. But the ending's still great. I like how they went, where they went with the ending, and how the ending played off. I love the last episode still. And I still love the show. The show is going to go ahead, and I'm going to slap it in great tier. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put it above Reservoir Dogs. Liked it better than that movie. This is a great show. Highly recommend watching it. It's not incredibly long if you don't have the time to watch a full 100,000 show or episode anime. Then go ahead and watch this. It's nice and short. And the next anime I started is Hunter x Hunter, and I'm loving that too. But that'll probably be next month or the month after before I finish that. Next up, we have the first game on this list being Pac-Man World Repack. First things first, I have not played the first Pac-Man World, the original, not this remake here, and I did have a good time with this game. The platforming's very fun. It's a bit basic, but it's fun nonetheless. Some of the hitboxes are a bit wonky, and boss battles, some of them are just not fun. But there's a slight spoilers here. There's like a Galaga boss. I think that might be my favorite boss in the game. That was really fun. Really fun game. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and slap this sucker in good tier. I'd recommend playing the game. 7.5 out of or 7 out of 10. I don't do 0.5s out of 10. That's too much. I'd give this a 7 out of 10. This is a good game. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of Pac-Man or a fan of just 3D platformers. It's not completely open world. It's just like 3D world, open world, 3D or 3D land more, I'd say. Anyway, next up we have the movie Beast with Idris Elba, and Idris Elba is pretty much the only good part of this film. I was expecting more care to his character and his children. There wasn't much going on between them. Like they set up a conflict between him and one of the girls, and we don't really see that play out or see it. Oh, he's figuring out. Oh, he needs to love this girl. He needs to like her things. He needs to see what she likes and try to like it himself. We don't see this rise within the conflict of the lion coming, and they do really stupid things when the lion comes, which, I mean, that's every monster movie like this. People just do dumb things in them, but I don't know. Idris Elba really carries this film, and for that I think I'm gonna put it in okay, above Orphan First Kill. It's fine, but it could be much better, and real waste of Idris Elba here. Not really a waste. He does good in the role, but I meant you could have made a better script for him. Next up, here we go. Here's the big one of this month. We've had the end of Better Call Saul, the series finale. The Better Call Saul whole series is over. We ended here with season 6. Or 6? Yeah, I think it's 6. Pretty sure it's 6. Anyway, this show is now my favorite show of all time. It beat Breaking Bad for me just by a hair, and I think Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. You might not think that. Breaking Bad's much more action focused. Better Call Saul is kind of a bit of a slow burner, not really too much action going on in it. It's more of a character drama of sorts. Breaking Bad's kind of that way too. But this season's incredible. The villain and the mid-season villain, I guess, is great. Not going to spoil anything once again. A character I didn't really care for. Slight spoilers here. Character I didn't really care for died, and they had me caring for it. I was like, oh, this guy did not deserve to die. This sucks. And seeing the downfall of Saul here, Slip and Jimmy become Saul throughout this series. It's a very sad downfall, and the people he brings down with him, alongside him, it's a really sad overall show. But the ending kind of leaves you on a happy note. I will say that, and I think this show is, of course, perfect. My favorite show of all time, right there now. It's gonna be hard to top that, I think, ever, but we'll see. Next up, I finished The Boys with season 3 of The Boys being right here. This is my favorite season of The Boys. I absolutely love this season. Soldier Boy is a very fun antagonist, and makes sense of course of that Captain America copy, but what if Captain America was real? Oh, he's gonna, of course, be racist and stuff, you know? Not necessarily racist, but, you know. I think he probably was racist. I can't remember. Anyway, the showdown between him and... Okay, that's kind of a spoiler. The showdown between him and other characters are really fun to watch. Billy Butcher and how he kind of drags down... what's-his-face to his level. Oh my god, what's that guy's name? He drags Huey down to his level. To, like, how he is. It's like, oh man, don't do this. Stop doing this. Get Huey away from you if you're gonna do this. But the outcome of it all is nice. It's a good series. It's a good series. This was a good season. Favorite season of the bunch so far. I'm gonna put it in perfect, just below Better Call Saul. Very good show. Highly recommend it. Next up, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 2. Decided to slap this in here since it came out this month. Had a fun time with this as well. I will say I think I enjoyed Wave 1 a little better, but this wave was still good. My favorite course of this wave, I think I'm going to go ahead and give that to Waluigi Pinball. But the new ice cream map, I can't remember the name of it. The new ice cream map's really good. I think that's really fun. It's got an anti-grav the entire way through. It's fully anti-grav, which is something I didn't think we'd see in this Booster Course Pass. And it came to this game first. It came here before Tour. It came here before anything. Now, the ice cream map and Waluigi Pinball, they don't quite reach the levels of Ninja Hideaway from Wave 1, which is my favorite course of these waves so far. And that wave, I'd put in great, but this one I'm just going to give it a good. Put it right there with, right below Pac-Man World Repack. Next up, I played the Uncharted series. Let's actually do these in order. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. I played all 3 of the original series. I played the remastered editions for the PlayStation 4. First up, we have Drake's Fortune. This game is kind of mid, but is what people say. But I actually had a fun time with it. The gun combat's not the greatest, but the story's a bit simplistic on this one. But I actually had really fun playing, and for that, I'm gonna give it a good tier. I'll put it above Wave 2 here, but I will not put it above Pac-Man World Repack. Had a bit more of a fun time with this, and not so much with this. But this is a good game. I would recommend the Uncharted series as a whole. I really love these games. Next up, we have Uncharted 2, which currently is my favorite game of the franchise. I haven't played 4, as you see here, though. This is my favorite game in the Uncharted series. Combat's still a bit boring, but they up it quite a bit. The parkour, or I guess platforming elements, are fun in this one. The environments are much better than they were in 1, and the cover system's a little better. I don't think the cover system's great in any of these games for the gun combat, but it's noticeably better in this one than it was in 1. So for that, I'm going to say this is a great game. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it under Reservoir Dogs, though. I think Reservoir Dogs has a better story. They're like completely different things, but I'd rather rewatch Reservoir Dogs than replay Uncharted 2 if I was going to do one first. Next up, we have Uncharted 3. Doesn't quite live up to the hype Uncharted 2 left me with, but it's definitely still better than Uncharted 1. Once again, improves slightly on the cover system, which is the biggest flaw of the game currently for me. Not a great, and I'm not too big a fan of the combat either. The environments are fun. The story's actually pretty good in this one. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to slap this one in good. Think I like Pac-Man World Repack just a little better, so I will put it below that. But I definitely liked it more than 1. Next up here, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put it above Pac-Man World Repack. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and do it. It was probably better. I'll say it. Next up, we have Only Murders in the Building, the 2nd season. This season, okay, it's not the best murder mystery itself, but the comedy and the execution of the show is good. You actually do want to guess who the killer is, and there actually is a good twist in this one. I'd say there's a pretty good twist in this season, unlike the first season. And I think this season is slightly better than the first season. I think this show is great. The characters are the biggest draw of the season. I love Martin Short and Steve Martin here. And Selena Gomez is, of course, good. I highly recommend this series if you have not watched it yet. It's a great mystery. It's an okay mystery, a great comedy, I'd say. And this is a really good show. The characters are amazing in this show. I'm going to go ahead and put this in great. Think I'm going to put this above Uncharted 2. I think I had more fun with this than Reservoir Dogs, even if it's not quite that level of story and stuff. I still had more fun with it, but I think I like Death Note a little more, so I'll keep Death Note there. Next up, we have Bray. This is a weird case for me. I've never seen any Predator film before this. This is the only Predator movie I have seen, but I still feel the hype from this. Like, oh, this is Mr. Predator. Mr. Predator is a cool and people have been saying his movie's bad, but this one's good. I am happy for the Predator fans to finally get a good movie after all these years. With what I hear, the first one only being the only good one. This one's actually pretty good. I had a fun time with it. The tension's good, action's pretty good. The Predator himself seems menacing. The main character's really fun, or really good. Some of the side characters could be fleshed out more. That's one of my big complaints of the movie. She's really the only good character in this, besides I guess the Predator skill wise. I mean, we don't really see what he wants or his real goals. We know he's the Predator. He just wants to hunt humans. He wants to hunt everything. So we get that, but she's the only really fleshed out character, I'd say. But still, this movie's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in good. I'm gonna put it in good, not okay. I don't know why I was debating that. I think I liked Uncharted 3 more. I'm gonna put it behind Pac-Man World 2. Good movie, highly recommend it if you are a Predator fan. Even if you're not, I had a fun time with it, so I'd watch it. Next up, Bullet Train. Probably the most surprising thing for me this month, looking through this. Yeah, this is the most surprisingly good movie. From the commercials, I did not think I'd like this movie at all. But once I got there, the characters are so fun. This movie is so crazy. It's an action movie that actually tries something new, just being fully crazy and not knowing what's going on at all. Bad Bunny's good in this. I don't listen to his music, but he's a good actor in this. I'm just gonna say that he was really fun in this. I don't know why I remembered his part more than anyone else, but I liked Bad Bunny in this. Everyone's really good. The characters are amazing in this. I love this. Doesn't quite reach perfect status for me, but I will put it in great. I'm gonna go ahead and put it just below Only Murders in the Building and Death Note on this great list. Go watch this movie in films if you can. If not, wait for it to come out on DVD or streaming and give it a try, because it is really good, despite how the commercials make it seem. Next up, we have Paper Mario the Origami King. Being someone who has never played a Paper Mario game before this, when it was bad or when it was good, I think this game's good. I had a very good time with it. The combat is fun. I know the combat people say was better in the Thousand Year Door and the original Paper Mario game, but I like the combat in this. I don't see anything really wrong with it. It gets a bit repetitive once you get towards the end, and the stories, of course, is nothing right I'm about. But I mean, there is a story, and I'd say the story's decent at best, or decent at least, really. So the story's fine. Combat, I think the combat's really good. A bit repetitive towards the end, though. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll put it in great. Think I had a funner time with Uncharted 2, though, so I'm just gonna put it. I'll put it at the end of great here. So far, we're not having any bads and awfuls. Now, as I say that, we're on the last one, and I'm just gonna say this: Me Time is a bad movie. This movie is comedy with Mark Wahlberg, Kevin Hart. Not really too big a fan of Kevin Hart. Mark Wahlberg's had some funny movies here and there that I've liked, and I haven't seen his Boogie Nights, which I hear is good. But this movie is bad. Not quite reaches awful. We're not gonna have an awful this month, it seems. But Me Time is not good. It is. I mean, it has some funny moments. There's sometimes I giggled, but the story's not compelling. The characters aren't really that compelling. Third act breakup just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's kind of the case with most comedies like this. It just doesn't make any sense, and I'm like, why? Why did the third act breakup happen? Try not to spoil this awful movie you shouldn't watch, but I'm not going to spoil it for you in case for some reason you do. I don't even think Mark Wahlberg's great in this, and he's a good actor. I've never liked Kevin Hart, so of course I don't think he's good in this. He has kids in this, and there's one kid. This is kind of a spoiler. Nah, not really. There's one kid. He's first thing to do the talent show. He wants to do keyboarding, but the kid wants to do comedy because he likes Eddie Murphy. And they just do nothing with this. They just keep bringing up, but Kevin Hart never realizes, oh, this kid's good at comedy. He just straight up at the end decides, oh, I'll let this kid do comedy. There's no build up for that. There's nothing to that. There's nothing that happens with that. And it's not very funny, as I said, which is what you want from a comedy. Maybe you don't want these extravagant stories like, oh, he learned to love his son. I'm not saying I necessarily wanted that. I did, obviously, but I would have been fine with the comedy too, but it's not even good at that either. I laughed a few times, which is not good. You should be laughing all the time in a comedy like this. That's my little rant with Me Time right there. But anyway, this is the media I watched, or the media I consumed, I guess is the word. Media I consumed in August for this month of August here. Let's just go down the list and say what I got. Better Call Saul, best thing I watched this year. The series finale, season finale. This season's my favorite TV show of all time. Highly recommend watching it. Watch it. Watch it. Anything from here to here, I'd highly recommend watching or playing if they're a game. Next up, we have The Boys Season 3. Watch The Boys. Watch The Boys. Next up, in great lit tier, we have The Death Note, followed by Only Murders in the Building Season 2, followed by The Bullet Train, followed by Reservoir Dogs, then Uncharted 2, then Paper Mario, The Origami King. Next up in good, we have Uncharted 3, Pac-Man World Repack, Prey, Uncharted 1, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Passway 2. That is a long name. Should have just said Booster Course Passway 2, but I said the full thing. And okay, these are mid. You might like it, but it's fine. It's fine. It gets the job done. It's Beast and Orphan Force Kill. And bad, would not recommend you to watch this, is only Me Time. We have no awfuls this year. Nothing that was awfully bad like I would give to like a Morbius or something. No Morbiuses this month, thankfully. Next month, what do we have next month? I know Splatoon 3. I don't know if I'm going to be purchasing that one. I have been working through Mega Man 11 though. Hopefully I will finish that in September. No movies I really plan on watching September that I can think of. I am working my way through Hunter x Hunter. Don't know if I will be finishing that in September though. Anyway, that's what you have to look forward to on that tier list. Just 2 things. Anyway, there'll be more. There'll be more. I'll play more games. I'll watch a movie probably. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.